Okay, check it out. Got myself a used pair of Seymour Duncan Antiquities. This one's a Jazz. This one is a JB, right there. Both signed by Seymour himself. Just kind of cool. I think he does that on all of them though. And yeah, let's have a look at those. Those are gorgeous. Look at the way the string rash is there. The poles are just rusted just right, just a little bit. You can see the strings, shadow of the strings on. These things are great. I've never had a set of these before. In fact, it's the first time I've seen one up close and personal. Here's the Jazz. This was the neck pickup. You can see it's not done quite as heavy as the bridge one, but the string rash and stuff, which is generally the way it works out. Plenty of lead on them. No clippies of leads. That's a tip for all you kiddies out there. Install pickups, don't clip the leads because it will come back to haunt you some point down the road. You got lead, just wrap it around something and work with it. So that's a tip for the day. So anyway, I'm going to install these in my my Gibson 335S solid body, and we're going to see what we wind up to work with. Okay, I got them mounted into the rings. These didn't come with the rings, but I think when you buy them brand new, they do. But these are the original rings out of the guitar. The guitar is a 1980, so they're just fine. And pickups do come with the screws, which are a bit aged as well, so that they suit the pickup. You don't have any shiny screws, and an aged looking pickup, so that's nice. And they're flathead, which is a pain in the ass. Come on, Seymour. I know they might be period correct, but geez, those things, your screwdriver slips out and you gouge the shit out of your guitar. It's not cool, but it is what it is. So anyway, they're mounted in their rings, and jam them in the guitar. Okay, got the pickups are mounted now, and I got the wires through. The wire with the little piece of shrink wrap on it, that's the neck wire, and this one is the bridge. It's a good way to not get them confused, because that would suck. So, it's pretty straightforward. It's going to basically, so I can get it out of the way so you can see, the tip will go in this lug here, and then the shielding will solder to the pot for ground, and that's that. I have a little treble bleed circuit right here built in, a little capacitor and a resistor. They're easy to make. You can look it up online and give you all the details, but it's basically 2 seconds to build one of those things. So I'm going to figure out which one I want to do first, because it matters which way you want to run the wires. So this one will come around more or less like that, and then go around and solder in and get this one out of the way. So just give me a second until I get this sorted out in my mind here. Okay, I got the wires run. So the bridge one is coming around here, through here, up and around, and into the jack. So all I have to do is put a dab of solder here, and then solder the shielding to the pot. This one, the back pickup, the front pickup, right here, comes around like that. Same thing, goes into that lug. I have the cap, the lead, and the treble kit all going into that. Same over here. We've got the cap, the lead, and treble kit all going into the same lug. And I want to make sure the treble kit's in there. I'm not quite sure. Hard to see. Yeah, it's okay. So that's that. So we'll get our solder for my UK friends out there. And I got to put the lead, the ground wire on too. So I'll do that first, and so otherwise I'll forget and I'll be pissed off. We don't want pissed off. So trying to not get my mitts in the way too much. Have my special patented wire hold down tool, aka screwdriver. Kind of an awkward spot to get at without burning that guitar. There we go. Shaky hands. There's nothing I can do about that. It's a medical condition that sometimes is a pain in the butt. Okay, so I got the ground wire fastened. Now we just have to do this, 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 and this. So this shielding acts as a ground. This is basically your ground wire. So it's one conductor lead really, but in reality it's two because you're using the shielding as the ground wire. So in reality it's two. So I'll do this side first. Okay, that's that. And now we're going to move this around and try to position it so that the shielding isn't touching anything else. I know it's ground, so if this was to touch, say, the base of the switch, it wouldn't matter. But I try to avoid that. Sometimes you'll get crackling and noises when wires start bouncing off each other, even if they're the same ground. Okay, so I got my soldering skills are kind of 50-50, so that the shaky hands doesn't help. Good enough. It's a little harder because you got to heat up more of the pot. Oh, jeez. The pot didn't go in, or the cap didn't go in that lead. It popped out on me when I wasn't looking. So I'm going to fix that right now. Yeah. Fix that up right now. Okay, there we go. Much better. Okay, hang on one second. We'll do this side. Alrighty. We'll get down to the front pickup now. Okay, that's that. Everything is copacetic. Now I just want to move this around a bit so that I can get a good connection here. And I don't have wire all over the place. I like to try to keep wiring tidy. It's not always the easiest thing in the world to do. But nothing looks, to me, worse than opening up the guitar and find that there's a bird's nest in there. Wires all over the place, wrapped around each other. I like to be able to keep it tidy. To me, that's just part of professionalism. I'm by no means a professional, but I like to try and make it look reasonable. Okay, so now what we got to do is hold the wire down. Ah, shit. There we go. And we just got to wait a second until the iron heats up the pot enough for the solder to take. You can tell when it starts to flow a bit. Okay, yeah. So now the shielding is connected to the pot. The wire is connected to the cap of the pot, or into the lug actually. So all these are connected together. The cap, the treble kit, and the wire all go in there. This side here, the other half of the treble kit, and it goes over to the switch. And this one works the same way. The other side of the treble kit goes here, and this goes over to the switch. And the center lug on the switch is the lead, the hot lead for the jack. And again, we have some of the shielding, which we work as ground. So everything has to be grounded together. That's important. Otherwise, you get wicked hums. So that's that. Now I want to try and move things around a bit so that looks kind of tidy. The capacitors in the same direction and all that. So there it is. It should work just dandy. I'm going to flip it over and see and make sure I got the ground. Always double check my grounds, because if you're going to have a problem, 9 times out of 10 it's a poor ground. 9 times out of 10 that's the problem. I got a cold solder joint someplace, or like this one here, the lead didn't quite make it into the lug and you didn't notice, or something stupid like that. But it's the ground that'll get you every time. So let's flip it over, throw some strings on it, and see if it makes any noise. Okay, first thing we do before we start slapping strings and everything on it is a simple tap test. I got it plugged into an amplifier, and we'll go down to the back pickup, make sure everything's open, and give it a tap. We hear noise, that's a good sign. And then I will twiddle the knobs, make sure everything works. We'll go up to the front pickup, try again. Middle pickup, everything works. Perfect. No weird noises, no hums. Okay, so electrically it works great. So let's string it up, see what it sounds like. Okay, got everything set up. I'm using my Trainer YJM3 guitar mate, 20 watts. This is an original 1971. It's not a reissue. For dirt, I'm using a Champ, Love Pedal Champ pedal. This is the one with just one knob on it. Great little pedal. And of course the Gibson 335S from 1980. And the Seymour Duncan Antiquity JB and Jazz set. So we got everything open on the guitar. We're on bridge, and we're all clean. Add a little tremolo just for kicks. That's tremolo in the amp. Nice tube-driven tremolo. It's beautiful. Okay, so we'll go up to the neck. Put it in the middle. That's in the middle. So I'll go back down to the bridge. I will put on the Champ. Bring up the volume a bit. comes at about 2.5. That's volume all the way. Let's turn down the champ. I had it all the way up. Okay, so I got the volume on the guitar all the way up. The champ's at about 10 o'clock. Go to the neck. So, there you go. Jury is still out a little bit. I'm not quite sure. I like this, the Jazz. I'm really happy with that. The JB, yeah, I gotta play around with it a bit more. Maybe move it up and down a little bit. It's a bit trebly and with dirt, but it's okay without dirt. So I gotta work on that. See, maybe adjusting the height might even things out a little bit. Seymour Duncan on his website says that if you want to, if you find it's too bright, you can put a 250K pot in there instead. That's actually a suggestion from Seymour Duncan. So I might just do that and see what it does. Otherwise, they're nice pickups. It's just quite some personal taste. So I gotta mess around with this, see if I can find the sweet spot. And I think I will, because I do like the pickup. Just a touch on the bright side, so I might be able to do something about that. And yeah, there you go. Seymour Duncan Antiquity, Jazz, and JB. Any questions? Let me know. Thanks for watching.